Lots to talk about over the course of the afternoon. We're taking your questions, and on hand to help is Dr. Manos from Dr. Vet. How are you, Doctor?
Good afternoon. I'm good. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. What's coming into clinic? What's been keeping you busy today?
Same thing. Dogs, cats. This is the most common, let's say, patients that we have.
What about the most unusual animal that has crossed your threshold over the last few weeks or months? Have you had any interesting surprises?
Every day is a new surprise, really. Every day is something different.
I guess that's the part of being a vet, isn't it? You never know what's going to come through the door. Well, we've already had questions about hamsters, about fussy cats, and so much more.
Rabbits. Rabbits, about turtles, parrots.
Okay.
Everything. Don't laugh.
No. It's just, I just find it really entertaining to think that you're opening the door every day and you're like, what is going to be waiting for me now? So what we're saying really is there's no such thing as a pet that's too big or too small, or a problem that's too big or too small. We can help you out with it all over the course of the afternoon. I just wanted to ask you, and we're in actually a beautiful kind of time of year weather-wise, and we will be talking about summer properly when it starts to heat up. But in terms of common cases that you're coming through the door, are you seeing anything heat-related yet? And, you know, in terms of preventative care, what do pet owners need to know, Dr. Manos?
Okay, as you said, for the time being, the weather is amazing. I'm here. I'm walking my dogs early in the morning, and after the sunset, the weather is amazing. They cannot. They walk perfectly fine. They are not panting. They are not struggling to walk. But we know, because all of us will live here in UAE, that after a while the temperature and the humidity is going to be not pet friendly. So one of the things that I want to make sure is that it's going to be early in the morning, very early in the morning, if we can do it, before the sun is going to start burning everything. And the last walk is going to be late at night. Humidity is going to be high, but at least the temperature is not going to be that a big knot for them.
We need to change our routines. Sorry.
Exactly. Also, don't forget that you just said that you are 173, correct?
Correct.
Correct. I'm 178. At the end of the day, the reflecting heat from the pavement, from the tiles, it affects us, but not that much. But when you're walking your dogs outside, and they like chihuahuas or pugs or something, that they have a direct contact with the pavement, the heat that is reflected even during the night is weird. It's very strong. Mm-hmm. Short walks.
Keep it short. Keep it dark, and test the ground. You mentioned you've got dogs there. What are your dogs called, Doctor?
I have 5.
You've got 5. Okay, I want to hear them all. Tell me.
Okay, the big one is Bowie. Bowie is a Great Dane.
Oh wow!
By the way, all of them are adopted here in Dubai. So it's Bowie. It's my first one. He's an old guy. He's 8.5 years old.
Oh.
Then now you're gonna laugh. I have Yorgos, George, Pagakis. I have Yannis, John, Pagakis. I have Bella. These 3 are also pugs. All of them are pugs. And last but not least, I have Abla, rescued standard poodle.
I think you're going to need to send me a picture of these guys. I think I need to see a full photo of the clan. Dr. Manos is in the studio today. We're going to come to the text line next. We have got a cat called Boo Boo who's really fussy to eat wet food, only likes dry. Does it make a difference? And can we convert her? We've had a message saying our 3-year-old son pulled our hamster's leg. We think it's now broken. He's not crawling. It's a bit swollen and pink. What could a vet do? Let's see if we can talk little tiny ones after this.
This is Afternoons with Helen Farmer on Dubai Eye 103.8.
With House and House, 10 years of unlocking opportunities in Dubai real estate.
All about your animals between now and 5 o'clock. We've got Dr. Manos from Dr. Vet on the line.
This is Pets and Vets on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
With ProPlan, groundbreaking science, life-changing nutrition.
Now, about a year ago, my daughter came back from a play date and she's like, something awful happened. Rosie's sister loved her hamster too hard. And I think, unfortunately, kids squeezing hamsters is quite a common affliction. Dr. Manos, we've had a message here saying, our 3-year-old son pulled our hamster from his leg and we suspect it's now broken. He's not crawling as fast and his foot looks swollen and pink. What will a vet do? I don't think they can put a cast on it because it's too tiny. Is this something you've seen in clinic before?
It could happen, but it has to be seen by a vet, an exotic vet. Because if it is broken and there is a fracture, we need to put cast on. The vet is going to tell you the alternative that you have. You cannot leave it like this. So the hamster is suffering.
So if it's you, I know it's a kind of an exotics, but in terms of bringing an animal like that in, is it pain relief? Is it sadly having to say goodbye to said hamster, or is there anything that can be done?
Depends what the problem is. If it is fracture, if there is any chance to fix it, we can do it. If there is no chance to fix it, then we're going to discuss how and we can approach the problem.
Here's a question I never thought I'd have to ask. How small can you do an X-ray? If you've got a hamster who's the size of the palm of your hand, do you have an X-ray this big?
Regardless, it doesn't have to do with the size of the patient. Really. You can do whatever you like, regardless of the size. Yeah.
There you go. Who knew?
We're taking X-rays from small parrots, for example. And if you see the result is amazing. You can see all the details.
Wow. No, you need to take this little one, your furry friend, to the vet to see just exactly what is going on, because there might be something that they can do. But yeah, I think this is quite common. If it makes you feel any better, the other hamster in this family got sat on and didn't make it. So fingers crossed, everything will be fine. Fingers crossed. Salvador's been in touch, doctor, saying, my cat Boo Boo makes a big fuss to eat wet food, only likes dry food. What are the options to make her eat wet food as well? Thank you. Does that actually make a difference in terms of dry versus wet food, in cats in particular, doctor?
No difference, really. And from the time that she's eating her dry food, why to change her to the wet food? I don't see the reason why. Cats are very particular animals and very difficult. So if you try to change her from even saying between dry food, from one protein to another, different taste or a different brand, sometimes they are making a big drama. Mm-hmm. So let her be the way that she likes.
Can I ask about, I guess, the different qualities of wet versus dry food? I mean, I think of dry, and we've talked about this in the past with cats, about being quite good for their dental hygiene as well, for making their jaws work. But are there pros and cons to both?
There is no actual difference, really. Most of the animals, they are just swallowing. There are, on the other hand, dry food pellets that they are made to make them chew, so they could eventually clean the teeth a little bit better. All the dental products. But the majority of dogs and cats, they don't have issues, and they are swallowing the food. So for me, either or is the same.
But Salvador doesn't need to worry that his cat's not getting something from the dry food. It's the same.
It's the same. Just the wet food is with water.
Okay.
So from the time that the Boo Boo is eating only dry food, Salvador has to provide her fresh water 24/7.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Hope that helps put your mind at ease, Salvador. Dr. Manos with us today from Dr. Vet. We've had a couple of emotional cat questions that we're going to be coming to. One is about going on holiday. One is about being separated from their sibling as part of what sounds like divorce. So cat emotions we're going to be tackling as well. We've also had a question about a dog with a jippy belly. KJ saying they've got some diarrhea in the house. I knew it always comes back to toileting on the show.
This is Pets and Vets on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
With ProPlan.
Joining us on the line now from Dr. Vet in Abu Dhabi, Dr. Manos is here. Dr. Manos, we've had a couple of quite kind of, I guess, emotional cat questions would be a best way of summarising them. So let's start with this one. It's from Annie, who's listening now, saying, I'm a first-time cat mum for the last 14 months, a failed trap neuter release. I used to identify as a dog person before, but I'm getting anxious when I've got a trip coming up over Eid. I think about leaving her at home with just someone coming over to feed her. I've got many friends who would do that without any concern, but like everyone else, I think my cat is the most special one in the world. I think it's a bit cruel. Please help. Is it me, or would she really be sad if I do that? I think that's a really good question with travels coming up, because you have a couple of options. You know, you've got the boarding option, and you've got someone coming in, as Annie's talking about, to feed and maybe do a little bit of sensory, mental exercise as well. Do cats get sad when we leave them?
Cats are more attached to the house, not us. So, from my experience, cat sitters, people that they're coming at home, they're feeding them, they stay with them, they play a little bit with them, they clean the litter box. The cats are perfectly fine. Boarding facilities, yes, of course. You can also send the cat to the boarding facility, but for me, the cats should stay home. Mostly.
That's really interesting. So a cat would be more attached to its home environment and is more disrupted by leaving that rather than the person that they're with necessarily. Out of those two options, you think it's better for someone to come to the home?
If there is a possibility to bring somebody at home, take care of the cat, I want to believe that the cat is going to be happier. On the other hand, there are facilities that they provide services better than home. So the cats are playing there, they feel like at home, but they are not at home. So not to be misunderstood, I would prefer my cat to stay at home if there is somebody that I can trust to feed the cat, clean the litter box. I have done it for friends of mine, that they kept the cats at home and I was going there every day, staying with them after work, before work, to feed them and take care of the cats.
Thank you for that. I think you would obviously be the dream person to have over as a vet. But I think, and obviously anything you can do, Annie, to help ease that adjustment. So, your pheromone sprays or getting them used to the person that's going to be coming in before you go away. Try not to let it overshadow your holiday. You sound like an amazing cat parent. We've also got a new cat parent joining us, listening now, saying our kitten is 2 months old, adopted last week. We're staying in an apartment and he doesn't go out. What is the right age to vaccinate and neuter, and how often should we bathe him? Dr. Manos, let's start with that first one. The right age to vaccinate and neuter male cats.
Vaccines starting at the age of 2.5 or less.
2.5 months, just to be clear.
Yeah, just to begin. About neutering male, depends, 6 months, more or less. Okay, I'm not a fan of castrating very young males. Let's say 6 months is not a bad age for neutering.
And second part of that question is, how often should we bathe him? What would you say to that? Well, cats kind of get on with it themselves, and it's not like we're in the UK and they're, going out in mud and what my dad would call clart every day. Do you need to bath a cat?
When I came here, I was shocked. When I came in UAE, I was shocked that they are trimming, grooming, and bathing the cats. Okay, let it be. Not more often than every 3 weeks, let's say, once a month. But I strongly recommend to brush the cat daily. By brushing, you're going to reduce shedding. And also, the fur is going to be shiny and everything is going to be clean.
There you go.
So brushing daily, bath every 3 weeks with animal products, not with human.
And this
products,
is presumably
because
the different
the
pH levels, of skin.
pH levels on the skin, yeah.
All right, really hope that helps. Well done on adopting. We'd love to see a photo. Do send it over on 4001.
This is Pets and Vets on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
With ProPlan.
Got time for one last question for Dr. Manos at Dr. Vet, who's joining us live on the line. It's from KJ saying, my poor dog has got a bit of a jippy belly. I have to say, really made me smile. Has been up 3 times, needing to go outside. We've had him for 5 years. He's never really had diarrhea before. We think it might be because of a new treat he hasn't had before. Not sure what's best to do. Should we fast him for a day, go to chicken and rice, just dry food? Obviously, if it gets worse, we will take him to the vet. KJ, as a human parent, both of my children had gastroenteritis over the weekend, so I'm well used to the jippy belly, but maybe not in canines. What does KJ need to know? We've got about 30 seconds of advice, Dr. Manos.
Go to your vet.
That's simple.
That's it. Okay, most probably it's from the new treat, but it should be checked, please.
Okay, because we don't want dehydration. We don't end up like I had on Friday night of a drip of anti-sickness and a drip of, fluids and all that fun stuff. So best to be safe. Dr. Manos, thank you so much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure to catch up. And you even sent us a picture of your beautiful Great Dane. Bowie was, I can't give you the prize, I'm afraid, but I have to say it was one of the cutest photos we got sent this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you, the team and your 5 dogs a wonderful, wonderful week ahead.